Hello, everybody. It is Carty o'clock here on Prop Culture at Wager Talk. I'm Thomas Viola, and he's Derek Carty, and we are here for some NFL Week 15 prop goodness for you all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being back here. As always, we see a whole bunch of new members here for the Wager Talk exclusive members club, and we've got plenty of familiar faces back in the chat. Bro, KGB is here. Shiny Fish MC says it is Carty o'clock. Grateful Futures is back and ready to go. How do Andre saying what's up, everybody? And Real Yahtzee knows the Samaje P. Riding Wagon. It might actually be back here, Derek.
Hey, you never know. It might be.
How are you feeling, my friend? It's good to have you back. Last week, we were both a little bit under the weather. Seems like we're coming out on the other side now, and it feels good.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit under the weather. I get over one thing and then I get hit with another. This week's been a little rough, but I'm doing pretty good today.
Yeah, it is the season. Don't forget to get your flu shots, guys. All right. Russian points out something. No Gino this week. We're going to have to find other ways to make money.
It's true. Poor Gino. We'll have to do what we can without him.
Yep, we will see. We will see. But hey, we've got plenty of props to get to here. We've got a whole bunch to talk about. Down 1.5 units last week, but that's okay. We're still up 16.7 units, 9.4% ROI on the season here. We'll take it. It's been a good season so far. A little bit of a slowdown right now, but we got a couple weeks left to finish the regular season strong. And you guys know we will be here for the playoffs as well. So don't worry, we're not 3 weeks away from the end. We've still got plenty more time. But for now, Nick Porto saying, no Gino shows canceled. Nah, we've got plenty to get into. Derek, hit me with that screen share, and we will get into it here talking about our first guys up. And you guys know the drill. Once we're done, we are going to go ahead and open the floor to you, answer all of your prop questions as well here. Now let's make some money this week, ladies and gentlemen. How does that sound, Derek?
Sounds good to me. It's been, like you said, a little bit of a skid the last 3 weeks, but hopefully we can get back on the right foot this week.
Yeah. And hey, a journey of 1,000 miles. It starts with a single step. Let's take that step here. We're going to be going to Dawson Knox first up on our list. Dalton Kincaid should be back in the fold this week for the Bills. What do you see in this Bills-Patriots matchup for the tight end position?
Yeah, I'm expecting Kincaid to be back. Knox, we're looking at his under receptions. The market's kind of split between the 1.5 and the 2.5 right now. I like the 1.5's better. If you can get this under 1.5 plus 155 at Bet365, that's the best line. But DraftKings at 134 is definitely good. Caesars down at 125 is going to be fine. A lot of this comes down to, if you look at last week, Kincaid was back and Knox still got a bunch of targets and got like all the work and did really well. But nothing about his role was different than when Kincaid normally plays. It's not like he was out there running more routes or they were doing more two tight end stuff, like none of that. It was just he happened to get more targets the last week. That I think is fluky. I think it's unsustainable. I think we go back to Knox being an afterthought in this offense. And so we're looking at his under here.
Seth saying plus 140 now at Bet365. And you're right. Like a common theme, and especially if you haven't been here with us for the previous 2 seasons and you've just joined us this season, I'm sure by now in week 15, you figured this out, that we're looking not so much for trends, but it's, what your baseline is going to be for some of these guys. And yeah, you're going to get a couple of those weeks where you have some swings, but overall, we're looking for those stable props. We're looking for those things where we can say, okay, most times this guy isn't going to be getting these targets, or he is going to be getting these targets, where we can kind of establish that baseline and then say, all right, now let's look at price and use that to compare where this guy should be versus where he is. And that's what determines if it's going to be a good bet or not. And Nick Porto saying, I kind of don't like trend betting, so I dig this. Yeah, I mean, trends don't pay the rent. And it's not trends. It's more, how would you even describe it? I'd say it's more, you're establishing a baseline, basically.
Yeah. That's really kind of what it comes down to, I think.
Yeah. It's, difficult to explain, easy to explain. It's a whole thing. But hey, let's move on to our second guy here. We're going to be looking at Ty Johnson medians. That's the word I was looking for, not baseline, but median. That you're looking for medians on these guys. All right, Ty Johnson is next up for us here. We are sticking with that Buffalo offense, and we're going under once again.
Yep, looking at his under 1.5 as well, plus 130 at MGM is the best line, but you can see down to 105 is still a 5-star play here, so you can definitely take this down pretty much anywhere that it's available right now. Similar to Knox, where the last few weeks Johnson's targets have been going up, but his routes haven't really changed. His snaps haven't changed a whole lot. A lot of times when we do see Tyler Johnson get a spike, it's in games where Buffalo's trailing. That's not necessarily expected to be the case here, projected to be a close game between them and New England. So we'll take the under here again. The blitz is projecting right on the number, 1.5. So if you're getting it at plus money, you're getting good value on what's essentially a coin flip, probably more like a 55% proposition here. And the other thing I didn't mention earlier with this game is that it projects to be very slow pace. This projects as the slowest pace game of the week. Both of these teams play really slow, Buffalo in particular. And so just the total play volume in this game projects to be pretty low.
Yeah. And I mean, we're going to be outside. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're in Buffalo this week, right? No, we're in Foxborough.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I'm reading it right there. It's Buffalo at New England. We are in Foxborough this week, but as Russian beat me to it on here, he's saying, I think the weather was looking bad too. I'm sure. I can't imagine Foxborough at this time of year is going to be very fun to play in.
Yeah. So when it comes to weather in football, the wind definitely tends to be more impactful than temperature does, but it's still going to be below freezing here. That's definitely going to have a little bit of a negative hit to offense in this game and to quite a few of them across the country this week.
Mm-hmm. Rich wants to know about his yardage prop as well. It looks like it's at 49.5. That doesn't sound right.
Ty Johnson's at 49.5. There's no way. We would take it. Yeah, looks like more like 14.5.
Yeah, I was going to say
he must be value. Must be talking about someone else.
Yeah. Oh, game total. He's talking about the game total here.
Okay, yeah, that
makes a lot more sense.
Like, I will smash the under 49.5 for Ty Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you put it that way, he makes a good point about something. We're a prop show usually here, but Foxborough Sunday. I mean, Nick Porto's the man on the ground right now. He's in New England. It is cold AF. Grateful Future saying Foxborough on Sunday, 90% chance of snow. What do you think about that total? If we have weather and bad weather and slow paced game, thoughts? 49.5.
So right now I'm not projecting snow in this game. Kevin Roth's report made it seem like it's going to be more clear, but if that changes and we do get snow here, I mean, first, it makes me like this even better. And then in terms of the game total, I'm pulling that up now to look at. Let's see, Buffalo, New England. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. All right, can you see this tab now?
Yep.
So this is the Blitz's game sheet. You can see that right now, even without snow, the Blitz is projecting more like 45.5 here. So definitely some value on the under. And if there's snow, that only helps it.
Yeah. So there you go. We've got some actual sides and totals action for you on that here. As Russian also says, unless you're Tua, then temperature is a big deal. Yeah, usually temperature isn't as big of a deal as the wind and elements here. Cheshire Cat is in on Tyrell Smoochie Wallace this week as a must play. I'm personally more on Devoyne Shower Handle myself, man. But let's talk about the next guy. Hey, Boglor, what up, man? You only missed 2 plays. We had Ty Johnson under receptions and Dawson Knox under receptions here. And now we're going on to our third, still on the same game. Let's talk about Stefon Diggs. Derek, where are we going here?
We are looking at Diggs's under receptions also.
In the revenge game.
In a revenge game is true. But like we said, the game environment here does not look good between the weather, between the pace. Diggs under 4.5 at plus 120 at Novig if you can get it. Otherwise, it's within 5 or 10 points pretty much everywhere. It is it's the same thing. Diggs is a good receiver, but he's not the guy he used to be. He doesn't get crazy high target volume anymore. And this game projects to be slow paced with potentially bad weather.
Yeah. And we talked about this last week too. It's okay to, although I wouldn't necessarily call these all necessarily correlated plays, but we're playing the same angle on all three of them here. And yeah, you're doubling, tripling up on an angle, but as you go along, like if the weather's great and they're passing the ball all around the yard, then yeah, we might lose all three of these and it's going to be a sucky day. However, when you expand your time horizon out and don't just look at 1 week, don't just look at one day, start looking at it over the course of a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, those start to balance out. And yeah, you'll have your days where you lose a bunch on a bad edge, but then you have your days where you win a bunch on a good one. And it all kind of washes out in the rain, and you just have to focus on making those EV plays every time you can.
Yeah, exactly. And last week we did it. I think it was with the Titans game. I think those were the bets that kept us afloat for the week because they all won. And I think most of the other stuff did not last week. So, it's the way it works out sometimes. But like you said, over the long run, when you're getting a big sample size, it's all gonna work itself out.
Yeah, and Russian says those Titans unders all did smash. They in fact did, and we had those T Higgins, Jamar Chase unders both hit that 1 week. Nick Porto saying, will the revenge game narrative tick the underprice better closer to game time? I'm inclined to say no because A, you've got the weather narrative going against you've got the weather narrative going against it, and B, let's face it, the market is going to move based on the numbers from the blitz. And with the blitz projecting him under, I'm less inclined to think that we see that much public money coming in on the over to really outweigh that. And yes, public money does not move lines normally, but in the prop market, it's a much less liquid market. It's easier to move numbers.
Yeah. We've actually seen quite a bit of movement on this one already. It looks like this opened as low as FanDuel opened minus 132. A lot of minus 120s, minus 125s it opened. So it's been moving quite a bit. I'm guessing after we put it out on this show, that's going to come to a halt or start to reverse. Otherwise, I might have been inclined to say, see what more this does. But for now, I think I would just take it at the price we can get it at.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree there. I don't think that you really need to be worrying about playing the market in this particular one. All right, let's move on here. We're going to Scary Terry next. Terry McLaurin. Who is even going to be who's even the quarterback this week? Are they really trying to trot poor Jaden Daniels back out there?
It's Mariota this week.
Yeah.
It's Mariota this week. We're looking at Terry McLaurin under receiving yards, under 60.5 minus 110 here. Fanatics is the best line, but everywhere is very close. All going to be good plays. McLaurin's been getting a good amount of volume with Mariota, but our sample's pretty small on it. And McLaurin's never been a big volume guy before. He's always been more of like a 20% target share guy as opposed to, the closer to 30% guy that he's been. Plus they're getting, I guess aside from Zach Ertz, they're getting healthier, at least in the wide receiver room. Like Noah Brown is back. They seem to really like Treylon Burks. I don't know. I think McLaurin here looks like a good under bet, especially because they're facing the Giants, and there's a decent chance that they will be winning and not having to throw the ball. And this is a team that has shown that they will run the ball more with Mariota.
Yeah, I'm not really ready to go out and play any overs on a Mariota-led passing attack as well.
No, not me either.
Mm-hmm. But man, that was very, very embarrassing for the Commanders last week with the Vikings. We'll see what happens here. But again, I generally like playing the yardage unders on any guy that's getting the ball thrown to him from Mariota. Now let's talk about Jaylen Wright for the Dolphins. Oh man, his usage has been so frustrating because he's getting the goal line carries, but it's not like, let's face it, he's just spelling A-Chain when he gets tired for a few plays.
Yeah, or like last week when A-Chain goes down hurt and Jaylen Wright got like all the work. I think he wound up with like 15 carries or something.
Yeah, that blew.
Yeah, looked really good. Or Wright looked really good, but I think people are maybe going to be expecting that to carry over to this week, where he looked so good, they're going to give him more work. Like, no. I don't think so. A-Chan's coming back. He's going to be healthy. He's their guy. I think Wright goes right back into the exact same role that he had, and for that role, 22.5 looks really too high. So under 22.5 minus 114 at DK is our best line, but any of these down to 20.5, or they look good too. That's really what it is. I think this is an overreaction to last week. I don't think a whole lot is really going to change about the way Miami approaches it here, assuming that A-Chan stays healthy.
Yeah, he's a spell back. He gets some of the goal line work, but he's not the guy that's going out there to rack up yards between the 20s. And with that, probably good for us for an under 22.5 rushing yards. We're only hoping for a couple carries for him. All right. Next up here, by the way, shout out to my boy Sean Tucker getting the touchdown and the 5 carries to hit his over last night. That was a blitz play. Thank you very much, Derek. Shedeur Sanders. We don't have Geno, but we have Shedeur. Where are we going in the Shedeur market, my friend?
I feel bad because these are usually the type of guys that the blitz likes to take overs on.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked here.
Yeah, I think the market has kind of adjusted on him a little bit, especially after last week. So we're looking at his under passing touchdowns plus 155 is our best number. But as you can see, just about anything on the board's a 5-star play. Just one of these math plays where you look at the total here. They're projected to score, I think, 15 points or so, I think is their team total. When you kind of work out, okay, that's how many points they're going to score, and this is how run heavy they are, which they are very run heavy, especially in the red zone. The chances of Shedeur not throwing a touchdown, if you're going to give me plus 155 on it, I'm going to take it.
Seth saying Geno ran so Shedeur could walk. Man, I was looking at some clips went on last night, and it was Geno back in Seattle, and man, that just didn't look like the same quarterback that we're seeing. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But anyway, real LD Yanks also saying about Jaylen Wright, our new Emmanuel Wilson. Yeah, kind of. It's the same angle. It's the same exact kind of play here. And Grateful Futures wants to know Hard Rock now at 19.5 minus 115. What do you think? Still worth it? Still good? Yeah.
If that's your best number, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, shop around, make sure you're getting that best line. But if that's your best line, that's your best line here. It's still plus EV. All right. We have 2 more guys to get to here. Derek, this is not a real player. This is Joey Chestnut's son, Julius Chestnut. You're really trying to tell me there's a player in the NFL named Julius Chestnut, and you're going
a player named Julius Chestnut. He is the 3rd running back for the Tennessee Titans.
What? Never in a million years.
Yeah, we are looking at plus 4,500 for him at FanDuel or MGM to score a touchdown. You can see the blitz is not expecting him to score a touchdown, about 5% chance, or about a 5.05 average touchdowns. But at that number, that is value. So I feel like this is just a fun one. It is a super long shot, but even though Chestnut doesn't get much work, obviously it's mostly Pollard and then some Tajay Spears. And then maybe if he's lucky, he'll get a carry or 2 on a given week. Does not always get that carry. When he does get that carry, for whatever reason this year, they've been giving him those carries in the red zone. And so if he gets a carry in the red zone, or even if he has a chance of a carry in the red zone, these odds are too favorable to pass up here. It's the Titans. They probably aren't going to score a lot. Again, we're probably looking at 1 or 2 carries, hopefully in the red zone. But at these odds, I'll take it. I think we have positive expected value on it.
You know, I'm pulling up my app right now because I can see it in my mind's eye. You texting me on Sunday, just going chestnut exclamation points, just like with the Joe Flacco, and I am not missing out.
Yeah, I would not bet a full unit on this. I would not bet your usual amount. Definitely scale this down. I can actually give you the percentage chance that the blitz has it expected to hit. It is not high, but it is showing some of the best.
So wrong at 45-1.
You can. So it projects to win 4.7% of the time. So probably not going to win, but the 4% of the time that it does, that's going to feel good.
We only need it to hit once. That's the key. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bet the house. This is the lock of the mortal Mega Max lock of the week. 200-unit goat whale play from Derek here. Julius Chestnut 45-1 for a touchdown.
Jason Morgan's got the angle here. Chestnut's roasting on. It's Christmas time. I mean, how does this not hit?
This is the theme. This is we got to play everybody next week based purely on Christmas names. I think that's going to be the theme. All right. We have one more play to get to, and then we will open up the floor to all of your questions. We're all going to be so excited when he comes on. We're going to be sweating this out. It's going to be great. One more play, one more touchdown. We're going to Alec Pierce here at a much, much more modest 7-1.
Yeah. 7-1 at FanDuel or ESPN for Alec Pierce to score a touchdown. This one, I just think they're giving us too good odds on it for yes, Indy is potentially broken now. It's going to be either, I'm blanking on the one backup's name, or Phillip Rivers. I think it'll probably wind up being Rivers. They'll probably be running the ball a good amount. There's rain projected in Seattle. It's a gross game. But Alec Pierce always has that big play potential where he can just take one for a touchdown. They've been getting him involved a lot more this year. I just think 7-1 is too good odds to pass up here on him.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we'll see, because you know who's throwing the football to him this week. Old man Rivers. Oh man, we will absolutely be talking about him for John Kiss once I go over the recap here. The weekly Alec. Yeah, don't we do this? I feel like we have definitely had him on the show.
We've definitely done this at least once or twice before. Yeah, the blitzes usually have some degree of value on Alec Pierce touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Reed Phillips is also here saying earbud in the right ear, making bets while supervising kids in detention. What has become? This is your chance for a stand and deliver moment. You can teach
them about math and probability right now. You can reach these kids.
Exactly. You can make a change in their lives, probably for the worse. They're already in detention. How much worse on a Friday? How much worse can it really be getting here?
That's true. Someone's asking about the break even on Alex Pierce. The blitz has the theoretical break even at 416. I wouldn't take it all the way down there, but if it's pretty available here at around 700, 600, 550. If you can get anywhere around there, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. All right. John Kiss has a great question about Phillip Rivers, so we will get to him next. But before we do, let me just hit us with the recap real quick. And you guys know the drill. Throw your questions in the chat there so that after we get done with John, we can get to yours as well. But just to bring it back for everybody. Yeah. No. This is very clearly last week's graphic. I was going to say, I was like, that's Tajay Spears there. Yep, there I am. I loaded in week 14 instead of week 15. That was my problem. I was actually ahead of the curve and then somehow also behind. There we go. Dawson Knox, under 1.5 receptions, plus 133, your best odds at DraftKings. Ty Johnson, under 1.5 receptions, plus 130 at MGM. Stefon Diggs, under 4.5 receptions, plus 120 at Novig. Terry McLaurin, under 60.5 receiving yards, minus 114. Best odds there are at FanDuel. Jaylen Wright, under 22.5 rushing yards, minus 114. Best odds at DraftKings. Shedeur Sanders, under half a touchdown pass, plus 175 at MGM. And then your 2 touchdown props, Julius Chestnut III, over 0.5 touchdowns at 45-1 at FanDuel and MGM, but apparently there's a 50-1 out there at Hard Rock. Line shop around, people. Alec Pierce rounds us off, half a touchdown, 7-1 there at FanDuel/ESPN bet. The score now, Derek, get with the times. ESPN bet is dead and buried.
That's true. You're right.
It is gone. All right. Let's get into the questions here from you guys. Starting off, as we promised, John Kiss, thoughts on Phillip Rivers. I mean, come on, how does the blitz not like this is prime blitz quarterback right here. You've got a massively low line, you've got an old guy. This is like what we were built for.
So as of right now, the blitz is not projecting Phillip Rivers in, so I don't have a projection for him to compare to the lines. It's projecting Riley Leonard. I do think ultimately it'll wind up being Rivers, but he's on the practice squad right now, and if I wanted to actually project him right now, it would be a whole technical pain in the ass to try to get him in there. So for now, I'm just projecting Leonard. If they call Rivers up tomorrow, he will get a projection. And then, yeah, it's definitely possible we'll see some overs on him pop up if that's the case.
Man, we live in the wildest timeline. just the absurdity, insanity. Madden really had to go back and be like, well, crap, we got to put him back in the game now this week. Just incredible stuff going on here. Nick Porto saying no Antonio Gates props. He's probably coming back next week, seeing how this thing's working. Tom Brady's gonna sell a stake in the Raiders so he can play quarterback for him. Oh, just incredible stuff. All right. Grateful Futures wants to talk about Greg Dulcich being undervalued even after last week's performance, getting a ton of targets. What's your stance on receptions or receiving yards?
We can take a look on him. I do think he's been getting a little bit less actual field time with Darren Waller back now. But if all right. So this is interesting. So let me get rid of the yardage so we can just see this. So most standard lines are 1.5. You can see Fanatics, for whatever reason, their standard line's 2.5 at plus 170, and that's showing value. So if you can find an alt line for him at any of these other books around 170 or even better, maybe you are getting some value on him.
Yeah. I definitely don't hate it at all. He's probably going to be a guy that I'm going to end up looking at. Hurts, bro. KGB wants to know Hurts 25.5 yards rushing, or is he going to crush us again?
Yeah, I finally jumped on the Hurts rushing bandwagon last week, and it did not work out. I'm like, well, they've been running him now. They know they need to win. They're okay doing these design runs for him, and then he just did nothing last week rushing wise. I'm tempted to go back to it though. I am. Let's take a look at what the blitz has. Yeah, definitely a little bit of value here. Looks like 7.5 for the attempts, and 25 or so for the yards. It's solid. There's definitely some value here.
I can't do it. The Eagles are just so bad. Man, I'm loving the Eagles freakouts from fans. I mean, just the insanity, the pure insanity of all of this stuff. They're all these Philadelphia fans are complaining. It's like, you won the Super Bowl this year. Calm down.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Porto says Brock Purdy rushing line is 7.5 yards. Really low. Would you consider laddering to 20? What are we looking at with Brock Purdy yards?
That does seem a little low.
Yeah.
We've seen like 15s for him at times this year. You can see the blitz is projecting about 20. So if you want to take the over on him, or if you want to ladder it a little bit, I am fine with that.
Yeah, I think that works. Qualunat, what's up, man? Good to see you. Wants to know your thoughts on George Pickens over 5.5 receptions plus 105 at bet 365 here.
I don't think this is one that's going to be showing much value. Just a tiny bit. Pickens is a guy who the blitz really has liked since the start of the year, but Pickens does have a wide split in terms of his man and zone type numbers. Really effective against man defense. Minnesota is the most zone heavy in the league though, so not setting up as like the best Pickens week, I don't think.
Yeah. Man, it's tough to fade. It's tough to fade Pickens, but yeah, I'm probably going to be staying away from any of this here. Colston Yankoff touchdown at 19-1. We love a good Yankoff.
I think I'd need more like 40-1 for Yankoff. No, like actually, he's the third, I guess the fourth string tight end for Washington. Now the third string with Ertz out.
Yikes.
Yeah, just you can see here, no value here. If you gave me like 30 or 40, maybe I'm considering it. But I don't see how I don't think he's going to see the field very much.
Mm-hmm. All right, John Kiss is back with more. Jonathan Taylor over 12.5 receiving yards. Feels like Rivers will be dumping the ball off a lot. I mean, how are you projecting a lot of these Colts skill position players right now? Like, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I am. You have to, but it's really kind of tough to know. So we can see here right now the blitz is pretty much in line with the market on it. If you want to take that angle, go right ahead. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Rivers will just be dumping it off. Like he's a smart guy. He's going to be able to see the coverages. He's going to be able to find pockets. I don't know. I don't think it's just going to be him dumping it off all day. I could be wrong.
Man, and it's against Seattle too. This is a terrifying offense to be trotting out a literal grandpa for. Oh, I mean, his completions line has to be up at this point, right? Like you can bet. Can you bet on him yet or no?
I don't know. EV Analytics won't show it because I don't have a projection for him yet. Like I said, if anyone wants to let me know if he does have lines up now for his completions, I would be curious because I would have to think if we're getting like a 15.5 or a 14.5 that I would be in on that number.
Yeah,
I'd have to think so.
Yep. I think Downs may have a decent day, and Warren Rivers does love his tight ends. He does love his tight ends. And let's see here, going back up is what's the money? No way. Stafford's at -0.5 a rushing yard.
I think he probably is. I've seen that before a few times.
At that point, you're basically just saying Stafford rush, yes, no.
It's I think it's more the kneel down stuff that plays into that. Like, is he going to just take one knee and then you hit the under, or is he not going to have to kneel and he winds up at 0, or he winds up with a scramble in there somewhere? It projects as a close game, obviously. So I'd be inclined to not take the under on it. Let's see what the projection is on it. Oh no, that's carries. I'm looking for yards. So it looks like EV Analytics, maybe the negative throws it off. Maybe EV Analytics isn't able to do the negative yardage simulations. But you can see the blitz is projecting, like right about a yard. I'd be curious what the odds on either side of that are, because it could be interesting depending on what you're getting.
Yeah. God, that is
like
so
if you're
funny,
getting
bro.
like over at like, plus, really over at any kind of plus money, but if you get it like plus 130 or something, I'd be really tempted to take that.
I mean, the funniest part of it is the fact that you're taking an over and you're betting on something not to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly a really incredible paradox that we get here. All right, Chris Demo wants to know, what does the blitz say about JJ? We have a stoppable force, Dallas defense against wide receivers versus a movable object, McCarthy at quarterback. Pretty accurate. What do we think?
McCarthy.
Justin Jefferson, by the way, oh no, we're looking at Justin Jefferson, that JJ.
I was very tempted to put,
well, we're looking at both.
Well, we're looking at both. Okay. Yeah, I was very tempted to put JJ McCarthy on the card today. You can see the blitz is projecting, especially his completions, about 2 over. You can get it some plus money. Let's look at Jefferson, though. I'd imagine there's a little bit of value on him. Just because
all-time wide receiver line from him the other day, by the way. Did you see that?
What was it?
He said, I'd rather win the game and not get the ball than lose the game and not get the ball.
Well, you know what? He's not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely some value on his over. Obviously, super talented. Obviously, McCarthy has been bad, but he just can't be this bad. And they're facing Dallas defense. It is indoors. I'd be very tempted by these overs.
Yeah. We will have to see that. I mean, theoretically, it should be working there.
Well,
All
what's
right,
the
let's
model
see.
saying that Stafford negative 0.5 is plus 185 to the over? I would definitely take that.
Yeah, that's insane. Jaylen Noel over 1.5 receptions around plus 180-ish.
Let's take a look. I'm pretty sure the Blitz was showing some value on that. I don't remember seeing a 180. Oh, there is a 180. Wow, yeah. Take it. That looks good to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some quality value right there. Real quick on the River stuff, we've got his comps at 16.5 to the minus 120 to the over at FanDuel. Attempts are 27.5, slightly over. But the Rabble and Lou says, can you explain the blitz projections for McCarthy? 234 yards seems batshit crazy. No, he's only thrown for more than 163 yards once. How much is it based on Dallas's first half day?
So the blitz doesn't put a ton of weight into defense. Like Dallas's defense will be in there. And I know that they have gotten better. The blitz does try to account for, okay, well, they traded for these guys and these guys got healthy, and that goes into the defensive projection. Really what it comes down to with McCarthy is that the blitz has been higher than the line every week on him, and it's been wrong most of the time so far. A lot of that just has to do with it just doesn't think he can be this bad. It has his talent level projected as the worst quarterback in the league. I'll actually be really curious to see where he is compared to Phillip Rivers. But it has him projected as the worst quarterback in the league, but he's in a good offense. He plays indoors in a dome. He has good receivers to throw to. He has good coaching. Like he has a decent line. Like he has all these other factors that should make him at least competent, and it just hasn't yet. But the blitz is like, he just can't keep being this bad, especially when it already knows he's bad. Like the level of bad that he's been is just, it just doesn't think is sustainable for anybody. Like no quarterback can possibly be this bad in this good of a situation.
It is Dameon Pierce all over again.
It's worse than Dameon Pierce. It really
much worse.
is.
But maybe the problem for the blitz is that you're doing the talent projections for JJ McCarthy and not for 9.
Oh, that could probably
that could be the problem here. We also have a direct comparison. Oh my God, we really do have Rivers versus Brosmer this week. What? Okay, so because Brosmer's playing quarterback for who?
He's from Minnesota, right? He's not playing this week.
Yeah, McCarthy's playing this week.
Yeah.
To say that 45-year-old Phillip Rivers is better than JJ McCarthy is really not a stretch. I mean, go like peak, yeah, obviously, but man.
So I'm looking at the blitz's projections, and yeah, McCarthy is projected worse than Cam Ward, worse than Riley Leonard, worse than if Taysom Hill was a full-time quarterback. Like it doesn't think he's good. It's just the lines get set so low, and he's in a good situation.
Yeah, and we bet those. I mean, the amount of Shedeur overs I've played over the last couple weeks, it's kind of worked out.
Yeah, the Shedeur overs have been nice.
Yeah, Fran Tarkenton now would be better than JJ McCarthy.
It is very possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh man! All right, guys. Let's get your last questions in here. We will stick around for a few minutes while I vamp. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you aren't already a Wager Talk subscriber, go ahead. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss a minute, never miss some shows. We'll be back here for Wager Talk today, tomorrow. We'll be back here for End Zone Live on Sunday to sweat through the games. I'm questionable this week for End Zone Live. I might be out in LA. I might not be. We will have to see there. But nonetheless, come join the show. We have a great time, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And of course, Derek and I are going to be back here next week for you with more proppy goodness for Week 16. But for now, looks like we have gotten to every question. We are ready to go, guys. It has been an all-time pleasure. As always, it's been really fun. You guys have been fantastic this week. I absolutely love the content, love the laughs. Glad that we could all get together, hang out, and do this every week. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. and we shall see you guys. Oh, Rebel and Lou's got one more for us. Let's do one more. Over yardage, under receptions, reverse play in a while. Anyone that we like this week? What do we think?
That's a good question.
Yeah, let's think of somebody here.
I mean, maybe I could see it with the Diggs play that we had.
I don't know. My problem there is that, you're going under receptions, over yards. Yeah, he's a candidate.
He's a candidate. Again, as with anything else, it would depend on the odds.
Yep. Depends on the odds. But yeah. I mean, we're looking for guys with high A dots, really high A dots. But yeah, I'd say Diggs is our candidate for the week here. Yahtzee saying Isaiah.
Maybe Tyquan Thornton with Marquise Brown out. Tyquan Thornton could be an interesting one. Yeah,
I like that a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Garrett Price is coming in at the buzzer. We got one more. Samaje Perine rush yards. Let's see it. Throw it up.
Samaje Perine rush yards. Let's take a look.
The Blitz is
liking the under a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That seems pretty high.
They have been working him in a good amount on the ground this year, but I don't know. It looks like the Blitz thinks the under's the move.
Mm-hmm. Things have really been changing in that backfield with Burrow back. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, thank you so much for being here with us. We will see you guys all back here next week. Same time, same place. But until then, have a great one. The Rabbi in Lou. That's what it is. Okay. 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 I was going to say, because I was like, it looks like Rabbi. I think so. All right. Rabbi Lou, thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see y'all next week. And in the meantime, best of luck. And let's cash some tickets. See you back here next week, everybody.